Hello friends, myself Professor Sunil Deokar, Head Department of English, Rao Bahadur Narendra Boroke College, Rampur. Today I am going to deal with the topic word classes. So as you know, this is a part of syntax. So language, it has different components: phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics and pragmatics. And we know grammar is a very important part. And if you want to know the grammatical structure, basically word class, it is a very important thing. So word class, from word class, what do we know? We know the class of the word. The function is different, the types of phrases, they are different, and when the word it is used in a sentence, it may have different functions. So basically I would say we should start from words. So from the word class, so we may develop, that means what is the word class, then we may understand how, that means what does that word it function in a phrase, what does that phrase it function in a clause. So it goes, that means the development it is there. So words, phrases, clauses. But first of all, as I have told you, words, they are the pillars or the base of grammar, and without knowing the word class, you cannot make proper analysis of what? You cannot make proper analysis of any that means any sentence or any grammatical structure. So we know what is syntax. It is a scientific that means it tells us the scientific structure of a sentence. So as we know that every one of us know what is the basic sentence pattern of English. It is subject, verb and object, and in Marathi it is subject, object and verb. Verb, it comes at the final stage. So generally we see Marathi and Hindi, it has a similarity. So Marathi speakers, they don't find much difficulty while speaking in Hindi, but Marathi speaker, he might find difficulty in speaking English. Why? Because the basic sentence pattern, it varies. So it varies, and so first of all we should know that difference. So if you know that difference, whenever we are translating any language, so the barriers which come across, we should know what are those barriers, and so that we can overcome in a proper manner. So when dealing about word class, so this open, that means these word classes, they are divided into two types: open word class and at the other side closed word classes. So I would say simple formula: 4 plus 7 is equal to 11. So open word classes, why these classes they are called as open word classes? Because here the new words they can be coined in this class. That's why this class it is known as open word class. So I am repeating again, new words can be coined in this class. That is why this class is known as open word class. And this class, it is known as closed word classes. Why it is known as closed word classes? Because new words cannot be added in this class. That is why this class, it is called as closed word class, or we may also call it as a restricted class. So just for example, for pronoun he, yesterday he it was used, today also we will use he, and tomorrow also we will use he, and here no new word can be coined, and that's why this class it is called as closed word class or restricted class. So no new word can be added in this class. And at the other side, here we can add different new words. So just for example, I would say computer. When did computer came? By the end of 19th century. So before that there were no computers. So what are the new inventions they are coming? We may say, or the new words, they can be coined here. and that's why this class, it is called as open word class, and the restricted class, it is called as closed word class. So just see, now I will deal one by one. So in open word class, noun, verb, adjective and adverb. So these are the four major classes which come under open word class. So what is noun? I would say naming anything is called as noun. So we may say as naming a person, place or a thing, it is called as a noun. But I would say beyond that, naming anything, whatever it might be, we may call it as a noun. So here you can say, so naming anything, so likewise it might be a person, Ram, Sham, Gita, Sita. So, or you can say, then next we may say about places, Shrirampur, Ahmednagar, Maharashtra, India. So likewise London, America. So places or a thing. So likewise whatever the thing, we can say table, chair, so tree, or any, you can say animate or inanimate thing. So likewise this, that's why naming anything, it is called as what? It is called as noun. And so if you see all these closed word classes, if you see in English grammar for today by Leach, so if you see the standard format which has been adopted for open word class, that means the symbolization, the symbols which are being used, they are always in a capital letter form. Noun, capital N. For verb, capital V. For adjective, capital capital A, small j, abbreviated form. And for adverb, AV. Different people, they use different forms, but I would say there is no symmetry. So that symmetry, it should be adopted. And as likewise, which has been described in English grammar for today, with the book which has been prescribed, and at the same time it tells us the grammatical rules and regulations about grammar. So as we know, that means count noun, mass noun, so we know 5 types of nouns. So that we are studying from, that means whenever we have started learning grammar, from the initial stage we have started learning what are the different kinds of nouns. So here in a sense, count noun, mass noun, proper noun, common noun, collective noun. These are the different forms of nouns. So we know, you can say what is proper noun. So proper noun, you can say the name which has been given, Ram, Sham, London, Bombay. So this is called proper noun. Common noun, boy, girl, table, chair. All these are the common nouns. Collective noun, flock of sheep, you can say. Likewise, herds of birds. So mass noun, water. That means mass noun which cannot be counted, in that sense that we may call it as mass noun, and the things which can be counted, they are called as count noun. So I will not go much detail in that. Every one of us know those things. So but basically what that means, these are the 5 types of nouns which we know. So what that means we should be able to identify the word class. So word class, as I have told you, so many, if a student has been asked, if we say he is a boy, what is he? Some students, they say he is subject. Some students say he is a pronoun. Some students may say he is a noun. But what exactly is the word? That means that thing we should know. Initially, we should be able to identify the word class. He is what? Basically, he is a pronoun. When it is used in a sentence, it functions as a noun phrase. It comes, that means it is the head of the noun phrase. So it functions as what? It functions as a noun phrase. And when it is used in a clause, what is the functional label of that clause? It functions as a subject. So that means those levels, that analysis, that we should be able to do in a proper manner. So what exactly is that word? When we say Ram is a boy, Ram, what is Ram? Ram basically is a noun. But when it is used in a sentence, in a phrase, Ram's pen, Ram, here you can say it's a pre-modified genitive phrase. So pen is the head word. So likewise, those we'll deal it later on. But basically now I'm just dealing with what? I'm just dealing with the word class. What basically is the word class? Then next, second, verb. What is verb? Verb is what you can say, it tells us about the action of the subject. Ram is walking. Walking is what? Action which has been performed by whom? It has been performed by Ram. Ram is sitting, Ram is sleeping, is walking, is laughing, is sleeping, is thinking. So those different actions, I would say the actions, all those actions, they are reflected by whom? Those actions. So verb, it tells us about the actions of whom? About the noun. So I have given you different example: eat, walk, sleep, think. All these are the examples of what? Verb. Adjective. So adjective here, in a sense, adjective is what? It you can say it describes the qualities of a noun. So it describes the qualities of the noun, I would say. So the qualities. So Ram is clever. Clever is what? Clever is a quality. Ram is, you can say, Ram is a doctor. A doctor is also a quality, you can say. So basically that means doctor, even though it is a noun, but what kind of phrase it is? It is a verb phrase. Sorry, it is an adjective phrase. So, but basically, yes, it might function as noun phrase, but what is it? It is a complement. So it tells us about the information about what? Noun, you can say. So those other qualities, we may say the building is green, the building is tall. All those forms which take ER-EST form, that means comparative and superlative form. So likewise, he is, that means he is as black as coal. That is the comparison. Black color, all colors, they come under the heading of what? Adjectives. All colors, they come under the heading of adjectives. Color, likewise, it tells us about the qualities of what? About the qualities of noun. So all those qualities, and that means all those qualities, they might take, you can say, some qualities, the words which take ER-EST form, tall, taller, tallest, small, smaller, smallest, all these are the adjectives, you can say. And finally, adverb. So it gives us additional information about what? It gives us additional information about adjective. So likewise, we may give, you can say, rarely, all those, we can say, words which take ly form. So consequently, rarely, so those words, you can say, which take ly form, they all come under the heading of what? They come under the heading of adverb. Up, down. So some, they might also function as preposition, some might also function as adverbs. So these are the 4 open word classes. So these are the 4 open word classes. Now I will turn to the closed word classes, which are the different closed word classes. So first of all, determiner. So determiner means what? Determiner, you can say specific. It deals with the specific. This is a building. This is a building means what? None other but this is the building. This is I building. That is a building. That is administrative building. So what is it? This, in a sense, that it reflects what? Specific determination. It reflects specific determination, and so that is called. And if you see all these closed word classes, the symbols, they are been denoted by what? By small letters. So as we have seen, noun, it is denoted by capital N, with the symbol capital N. But at the other side, determiner, it is denoted by small d, in a sense. So determiner, this is the building. This, what is it? There at that level, it is a pronoun. But this building is what? If I use one sentence, same sentence, if I use, this is a building. This building is tall. So just say, I have used in 2 sentences. So here first sentence, this, what does it functions as? So here, this, it functions as pronoun. So here you can say, this, it functions as pronoun, and here this building. So specific determination. So this building, but none another, that means here this, it is determiner, and here this is what? It is pronoun. So first this is pronoun. So if you make analysis further, so this is what? This is pronoun, and this is a single head word. In what? in a noun phrase and it functions as subject in a sentence. So this is a building. So this, it functions as a, what is the word class? The word class, it is pronoun. The word class, it is pronoun and it functions as head in a sense there. And it is a noun phrase. And in a clause, it functions as a subject. So first this, it is pronoun, and this building, what is it? It is again a noun phrase. But what is this here? It is pre-modifier. And what is the word class of this? It is determiner. So what does it indicate? It indicates specific building, this building, none another. These, those, you can say likewise, those determiners we know. So pronoun, he, she, it, they, themselves, myself, ourselves, all these are pronoun. What are these pronouns? Pronoun, pro. What is it? I would say it is demi-noun. It is an alternative word which is used for noun. So Ram is a boy. He goes to school. He, what is he? He is pronoun. What is he? He, that means it is an alternative word. It is an alternative word used for what? It is an alternative word used for noun. Noun साठी पर्याय शब्द वापरला जातो, त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो? Pronoun. So pronoun, it is an alternative word which is been used for noun. You can say he, she, it, they, all those you can say. Likewise, all time we cannot say Ram, Ram, Ram. So likewise, we should later on in next sentence we use pronoun. You can say. So prepositions. So as I have told you, some words they might. That means when we use a word in a sentence, then and then only we can identify that class of that word. How? You can say we can correlate the contextual meaning of that word and we can tell whether it is a you can say whether it is a pronoun, sorry, determiner or pronoun or an adverb. So likewise, it cannot be that individually that word, it might function as what? It might function as adverb also. It might function as we may say it might function likewise it might function as preposition also. So some, there is overlapping of some words, pronoun, or you can say even here also in adjective and noun also some words they might interfere. So how we can locate when we use this word in a sentence? Meaning is achieved when? Meaning is achieved when that word it is used in a sentence, then the meaning is achieved. Until and unless you use the word in a sentence, then we can identify the word class of that word. As I have told you, as we have gone through this sentence, this is a building, this building is green. So first in this it functions as what? This it functions as pronoun, and in the second sentence this is what? That means the word class of that word, it is determiner. So likewise that we should try to understand. Then next you can say preposition. Preposition, what does it tells us? It tells us about the position of the noun. At present where I am in the classroom. It tells us about the position. So if you see pre and position. So position, so likewise, so we know different positions: on, in, at, up, down. So likewise, what is it? Likewise, it tells us where is the chalk? The chalk is on the table. On the table. So if I place the chalk on my palm, where is the chalk? The chalk is on my palm. If I close the fingers, the chalk is in my palm. So in my, that means, so likewise on, into, up, down. So likewise, where are you at present? I am in the classroom. So I am walking on the road. So that means I am in the premises. So likewise it tells us about the position. What does it tells us about? It tells us about the position or the location of the person, or that means it might be of the noun, we may say. It tells us about the position of the noun, you can say. Then next I would say about conjunction. What are conjunctions? Conjunctions, they are of two types. So if we say sentences, they are of three types: simple, compound and complex sentences. So when we say how to identify a simple sentence. A simple sentence, what is a simple sentence? The sentence which has a single subject and a single predicator, it is called as a simple sentence in in a common way. Simple sentence. What is a compound sentence? Two sentences, they are been joined by what? By a coordinating conjunction. What are the coordinating conjunction? And, or, but. These are the coordinating conjunctions. So these are the coordinating conjunctions. And, or, but. So these are the coordinating conjunctions which we can join a sentence. And what are the, that means those, and the sentences, two sentences, when these two sentences, they are been joined by this coordinating conjunctions, they are called as compound sentences. Ram likes coffee and Sham likes tea. So, I came late at the station, but the train left. So what is it? But it shows the contrast. So likewise, these two sentences, they are been joined by this coordinating conjunctions, and, or, but, you can say. And what are that? And these coordinating conjunctions, when they join by and, or, but, they are called as what? They are called as compound sentences. What they are called as? They are called as compound sentences. And at the third level, what are complex sentences? Complex, when we say complex sentences, they begin with a subordinating conjunctions. Just remember this thing, they begin with a subordinating conjunctions. So that means I went to the library because I was in need of a book. Because, what is because? Because is the subordinating conjunction. So that means when I reached station, the train left. So that means when I reached, when, what is it? It is adverbial clause of time. So when, in a sense, what does it indicate? It is a subordinate conjunction. When I reach station, does the sentence complete? No. So when I reach the station, what is it? Clause within clause. Subordinate, we know. Main clause and subordinate clause. Main clause means the entire sentence is a main clause. Entire single sentence is a main clause. And the subordinate clause, clause within clause, that is the subordinate clause. Main clause is the entire sentence. So we say, just likewise, this entire clause, what is it? It is the main clause. And I would say subordinate clause. I went to library because I was in need of a book. Because what is it? It is a subordinating conjunction. It is a subordinating conjunction. So, and that it is a complex sentence. So simple thing we should know how we can distinguish between simple, compound and complex sentence. A simple sentence, what is a simple sentence? A simple sentence where there is a single subject and single predicator. It is called as simple sentence. So compound sentence, two sentences, they are been joined by a coordinating conjunction. It becomes a compound sentence. And the complex sentence, there is a main clause and subordinate clause. And the subordinate clause is been, that means separated by a subordinating conjunctions. That, when, though, although, all these are what? These are the subordinating conjunctions. So the conjunctions, there are two types of conjunctions we should remember: coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. So those are the two types of conjunctions which we should remember here. Later, I would say operator verb. What is operator verb? So what is the structure of a verb phrase? I would say the structure of a verb phrase is auxiliary main verb. You can say auxiliary main verb. When we say, you can say, just for example, auxiliary and main verb. That might be the structure of a verb phrase. What are these curly brackets? It indicates optional. That means auxiliary main verb. Main verb, yes, without, if there is a single verb, that is the main verb. But these verbs, the verbs which comes before the main verbs, they are called as what? They are called as operator verbs. Main verb, I would say, eat is a main verb. I am eating. Am eating. Am is what? It is again auxiliary verb. And what form of verb it is? Be, have, do. It is primary verb. So all these you can say, those are the primary verbs. Be, have, do. Those are the primary verbs. I am eating. So that means likewise he must, that means he must come to school. Must is what? It is a modal auxiliaries. So modal auxiliaries we know. So modal auxiliaries or primary verbs, what do? They pre-modify what you can say, they come before the main verb. We may also call them as pre-modifiers or auxiliary verbs. That means the structure of an verb phrase itself, it is what? Auxiliary main verb. And what are these auxiliaries? These auxiliaries, they are none another but they might be primary verbs or modal verbs. They are optional. They may come or they may not come. But if they come, likewise, we should know what kind of verbs they are. And that's why that's why they are called as operator verb. We may also call them as auxiliary verb also. Operator verb or auxiliary verb. That is an alternative word which is used for what? Operator verb, that is auxiliary verb. And so likewise, they are of two types. As I have told you, primary verbs be, have, do. So those are called as primary verbs. So, and modal auxiliaries can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, need to, and ought to. These are what? These are the modal auxiliaries. So these are the modal auxiliaries. And I must, you can say the sentence, it doesn't complete. What is it? Or the word phrase, it doesn't complete. I must go. Go is the main verb, I would say. So likewise, here you can say, he will come. Will is what again? Will is primary verb. Must is modal auxiliaries. So likewise, these things we should know. So if you do the analysis in a proper manner, grammar, I would say it is the easiest way. It is very simple to understand if you understand in that manner. Then next, interjections. Interjections, what is it? It is exaggeration of feelings. It is exaggeration of our feelings. If you see a beautiful flower, so if you go, that means if you go in a garden of rose flowers and directly at one side, if you see thousands of flowers, what kind of expression it will come? Wow. We say wow. Wow is what? Wow is, it is exaggeration of feelings. It is exaggeration of feelings, and so it is called as interjections. So if you are walking, likewise, if you are walking and if you are stumbled by a stone, what do you say? Ouch. Ouch is, that means what is it? It is exaggeration of our pain. So then next I would say, I will give one more example. Hooray, tomorrow is holiday. Hooray, that means children. What is the expression? If they come to know, yes, tomorrow is holiday. Hooray. What is that? Again, it is excitement. It is a feeling of excitement. In Marathi also, if you see a snake, you will say Bapre. So likewise, wow. So likewise, those are the exaggeration of feelings, and that is called as interjections. So they are called as interjections. And finally, I will turn to enumerator. Enumerators, cardinal, ordinal, and general enumerators we say. So cardinal, ordinal, and general you can say. So cardinal, ordinal, and general. So we say. So in what form? 1, 2, 3, 4 cardinal you can say. Just when we say, when we use in a sentence, that we use in this manner 1, 2, 3, 4. This is called as cardinal. Ordinal you can say first, second, third, fourth. What is it? It is ordinal. And general ordinal, next, last, further. Next, last, further. What are these? These are the general ordinals. So just see 1, 2, 3, 4 cardinal, ordinal, and general you can say. So likewise, enumerator, that is called as enumerator. So determine. So these are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the 7 types of closed word classes, and at the other side, in open word classes, there are 4 kinds of, you can say 4 kinds of classes: noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. And overall, I have just given you an overview of this open word class and closed word class. So every one of us are quite familiar, but I would say initially when we speak about words or word class, words we should generally, as I have told you basically, just we should remember words, they are of 11 types. 4 of open word class and 7 of closed word class. In between there is distinction again when we say about noun, 5 types of nouns, verbs, adjective and other verbs. So there might be internal distinction, but basically this open word class and closed word class 4 plus 7. Other than this, if you go, if you understand in a proper manner, we feel it very easy to understand. So just to give an outline about what is the difference between open word class and closed word class, I have just today explained you about the word class. So that was the main intention of mine. Thank you.